welcome to Butterfly Candy. I'm Tara and today I'm going to be featuring lots of beautiful dolls from American Girl because I wanted to talk to you about face molds. Face mold is a fan and manufacturing term that describes facial characteristics of a doll. So we're strictly going to be talking about these cute little faces, their eyes, the nose, the mouth, the shape, and possibly the ears. So American Girl has 8 variations of face molds. 3 of them have only been used for one doll, and 2 of them are not currently for sale through American Girl. So the name given to each face mold is based on the first doll to ever feature that face mold. So if Kaya is the first doll to feature that face mold, the face mold would be called the Kaya face mold. And there is one exception, that is the classic face mold, which Caroline has. And that is because the classic face mold was the first to ever be used, and it was used on 3 different dolls. So let's get started. The first face mold ever to be introduced with American Girl was featured on 3 dolls: Kirsten, who I have right in the middle here, Samantha, and Molly. The company started in 1986 and featured 3 American Girl dolls. The classic mold is the most popular and the most used by American Girl. The classic mold has large round eye sockets. The nose is thin and turned upwards. The lips are thin with 2 front teeth visible. They have a rounded chin and full cheeks. Cute little cheeks. It has been used on 8 different historical dolls, 8 Girl of the Year dolls, and a total of 45 different Just Like You dolls. So that's a lot of classic dolls. I think if you added up all the other dolls that feature other face molds, it probably wouldn't even be as many as there have been for classic molds, because a lot of the dolls feature the classic mold. And if you don't hear your doll's name featured in this video, it's most likely because it is a classic mold. The next mold that was introduced to American Girl was in 1993, and it was introduced on the beautiful Addy doll. This was the second face mold ever to be introduced, and it was also the first African American doll to be featured at American Girl. The characteristics include large round eyes, 2 visible front teeth, and a rounded chin. The nose, lips, and cheeks are all slightly larger than those of the classic mold. This mold has never been used on a light-skinned doll. It has been used on 1 historical doll, and that's Addy. No Girl of the Year dolls as of yet, and it's been used for 8 Just Like You dolls, including 1, 11, and 50. Up next is the 3rd face mold ever to be used by American Girl, and that is called the Asian mold. This is the first face mold that has only been used on just 1 doll. It should be called the Just Like You number 4 face mold because this is the only doll that it has been used on, and it was introduced in 1995 and was retired in 2011. The most distinguishing characteristics of this face mold is the eyes. The eye sockets are thinner and tilted and is intended to represent the ethnicity of Eastern Asia. The nose is wider than the classic and smaller than the Addy mold and tilts upward. She has very similar lips to the classic mold, and she has a full chin and full cheeks. Up next is the 4th face mold, and it is the Josefina face mold. This face mold was first used on the beautiful Josefina doll, which I don't have, but I did bring out my Rebecca doll because she features the same face mold. It was introduced in 1997 and has been a favorite among many collectors. The characteristics include the nose is not turned up like the classic mold, and it is slightly larger than the classic one, but it is smaller than the Addy mold's nose. The lips are much fuller, and they have a much more defined lip shape. The eyes are more oval with less of a pronounced corner. There is a thin line above the eyes that shows where the eyelid would fold. the chin is a little longer and pointier. As a side note, collectors sometimes complain that the glasses don't fit as well on this face mold, but I think they look pretty cute on her. What do you guys think? The Josefina mold has been used on Josefina, of course, Nellie, Elizabeth, Julie, and Rebecca. For Girl of the Year dolls, it was used on Marisol, Carissa, McKenna, and the current Girl of the Year, Grace. It has also been used on two Just Like You dolls, number 28 and 53. Alright, up next is the Kaya mold. It is the fifth to be introduced in 2002, and Kaya is the second face mold to ever be exclusively used for one doll. The most obvious difference in this mold is the teeth are not showing. This is because the Nez Perce culture finds that showing of teeth to be a show of aggression, and it would not be historically correct to show the teeth. The face mold is closest in characteristics to the Josefina mold, with the nose turned down and slightly wider than the classic. There is a slight dimple in the chin, right here, and the eyes are oval and feature a crease where the eyelids would fold. Up next is the Jess mold. It is the sixth mold to be used by American Girl, and it was introduced in 2006 with Girl of the Year, Jess. I have brought out my number 30, Kanani, and number 40. They are all examples of this face mold. The characteristics are that the eyes are thinner and more almond-shaped than the other molds, but they're not the same as the Asian mold. The nose is small with less of a point, and it is not turned upward like the classic. The lips are a bit more open and show more of the two teeth. The face is shorter and slightly rounder and has a pointier chin. On a side note, collectors complain about the eyes being asymmetrical. They are slightly different sizes and slightly in different locations. It's very subtle, but all of the face molds are asymmetrical, which means they are not perfectly the same on one side as it is on the other. There has been one historical doll that features this face mold, and that is Ivy Ling, which was best friends with Julie. There has been two Girl of the Year dolls, which is Jess and Miss Kanani. And there have been a total of 3 Just Like You dolls to feature this face mold, and that includes 30, 40, and 54. Another side note is that this is my favorite face mold out of all 8. Alright, the 7th face mold is the Sonali face mold. It was introduced in 2009 on the Sonali doll, which is a Girl of the Year doll, and she was friends with Carissa. It was initially created as a prototype for Mia, but it was never used. The eyes are very round, the cheeks are very full, and the mouth is slightly wider. The nose is similar to the Jess mold, but wider. The face shape is very close to that of the Josefina mold. For a side note, collectors find that the ears are very different than the other dolls. And for the very last face mold, this is the Marie Grace mold. This is the 3rd face mold to be used exclusively for one doll so far, but many collectors hope that the Marie Grace face mold will be featured on future dolls. The chin is shallow, narrow, and rounded with a wide pointed chin. The other features are very similar to that of the Josefina mold. The nose is pointed down and the eyes have a line where the eyelid would fold. The lips are almost identical to that of the Josefina mold. Alright, so that is all the face molds. I hope you really enjoyed this video and enjoyed all of the face molds that American Girl has so far. You'll have to let me know in the comments down below which face mold is your favorite. Take care. Bye!